Hello Madden Nation, Sgibs here for another exciting edition. It is not your den, it is not my den, but it is the Madden Den, aka the Laser Show, the internet's most passionate show about John Madden NFL 13 football. Kicking off with a bang, I got some guests here with me today. We're down in EA Sports Orlando, Tiburon. We are here with the Sim Standard fellas. We have Smitty, we have SimFBallCritic, and a man over here from Operation Sports, Rgiles, Rgiles 36. And we've had a lot of talk over the years, a lot of talk in the past couple months about Sim versus my style of play. The extremist, I could say I'm the Sim extremist, but also tournament style, freestyle, no rules, I mean, ban glitches, things like that. But we wanted to kind of talk with these guys down here and see what their actual insight are. They are the Sim standard, and we also, of course, Rgiles. But, guys, can you tell me, without a shadow of doubt, what is Sim? What is a Sim mindset? What is Sim Madden NFL football?
You want to take it or?
Sure. Well, I'll kick it off. Right. Pretty much, Sim to us is like what you see, what you see on Sunday. Fundamental style football, you know what I'm saying? The jostling between the offense and defensive line, seeing the struggles represented. It's like the dynamic chaos, but yet it's beauty at the same time, you know what I'm saying? The hard hits and everything being depicted the right way, and we like to see it best translated in video game fashion. That's what we formed the Sim Standard because from previous years, Madden wasn't really Sim to us or what have you. So that's why we was like, let's take from everything from what we see on TV to basic fundamentals, and in one fell shot, form a channel where we all are just talking about like what simulation is from a general standpoint, and expressing it to developers and to the community in general. So but that's what Sim to us is just like I said, it encompasses the skills that you see defenders use to punch through the lines and sack quarterbacks, and the moves that wide receivers do to break open and get those catches, and the QB throws and all that stuff. Like everything that pretty much the realism, the closest realistic depiction of what you see on the football field, whether it's college or pro.
All right, I appreciate that. I definitely understand where he's coming from. So some of the things you were just talking about there, probably along the lines of like DN pass rushing. You want to see authentic, 4-3 ends, act like 4-3 ends, get upfield, get after the quarterback. No more of this, right? So no more the ends start here, and then they just kind of loop in. It's like loop in. You want to get upfield, Mario Williams, get upfield, do work, kids.
Exactly.
And so talk to me about gameplay. I think that's where I get grilled by, I'm not saying you guys, but I'm just saying your community in general, or my style of play is more so about the way I play a scheme or a game plan. And now talk to me a little bit about that, and let me know. I mean, am I a jerk? Maybe I'm a jerk the way I play, but I mean, this is the Sim standard. Let's figure out what's going on in the back of your head there.
Well, yeah, I guess what I would say is, in particular, first before I start off, let me just say the way you want to play the game is up to you. Who am I to tell, Sgibs or Zfarls, hey, you can't play like that. It's your money. You spend $60. That's, like Mad says, it's your fishbowl. Swim in it. Choose your fishbowl and swim in it. As far as me, as far as Sim, what I consider Sim in a nutshell is basically play your opponent. Don't play to the limitations of the AI. Mm-hmm. If there's exploits, I don't like to use exploits and to try to say I play, Sgibs, Rgiles, but I try to play him, and I'm just using the same play over and over. I know he can't stop it, not because he can't stop it, but things that the system won't allow him to stop. Mm-hmm. Like what's overused in Madden 12 is the speed burst. Mm-hmm. A lot of times guys know how to trigger that speed burst in man-to-man situations.
You say when you get you throw a pass to a guy and he catches the ball and gets a burst upfield, is that what you're talking about?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, that definitely is effective, and that's something I would say you can't really combat that by making an adjustment on defense.
Right.
And so the way I kind of look at that is that's just kind of how the game plays itself. How do you police that?
Yeah, that's a great area because it's, I don't want to tell a guy, hey, you can't do man.
Right.
Or you can only do it X amount of times per quarter.
Right.
I mean, and slant outs. So I know that's definitely one that I have felt all year long.
Exactly.
Playing with slant outs. I'm very excited about Madden NFL 13 not having him. You guys will see that later on, though. Slant outs. I mean, what's your feeling on that? Like, what did you guys play stat? Do you guys play in leagues? Are you in leagues, or where do you guys play in leagues?
Well, I actually play at TSO, traditional.
Oh, you play at TSO?
Sports Online. Yeah, I'm in the TMFL league currently.
I did not know that.
So I play there, and also me and Azure Effect, we have the Sim Standard League, which is also on TSO as well. So.
Gotcha. Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of those exploits, we have rules, things like that. That's an exploit.
Right.
You know, you can't stop that.
You can't stop it. You can't stop it.
Exactly.
No, you can stop it.
Oh, you can?
I don't want to say that you can stop it like 100% of the time, but you can definitely contain it. You can definitely slow it down. You can definitely prevent someone. You know, if I'm going to play a game against somebody and they're going to run just slant outs all game, I'm definitely going to win that game. There's some things you can do, and here's where I think it can become a problem, is when you have to dedicate like 95% of the setups you do pre-snap to defend against something. So my whole focus is, oh my gosh, I got to stop the slant out. And that's when you get into that gray area, I think, where people, you know, guys that go to the Sim Standard, guys that are following the way you guys play and the things that you guys are teaching, that's when there becomes a disconnect between with you guys and how we play. Is I'm just going to say, well, why can't I run a slant out every time? You know, try and stop it. Whereas you guys are saying it's not really real football. It's not something that you see on Sundays, so why even do it in the first place?
And sometimes as a sim gamer, sometimes you're oblivious to what the exploits are. Like, when you guys mentioned the slant out, I mean, I'm an offliner for full disclosure. I didn't know that it was an exploit. You know what I mean? And although these guys kind of did a great job of explaining what sim is, I think another difference between a sim gamer and, you know, a freestyle/tourney gamer, the freestyle tourney gamer, they get their thrills from the competition. They hate to lose. They hate to lose.
Exactly. Right.
Definitely.
Sim gamers, to a degree, don't mind losing as long as it happens in a realistic fashion. And I think that's one of the major differences. I don't mind playing against this guy and losing the game as long as he's not running the same play after play after play, or he's seeing something that I can't stop and just... Granted, I should find a way to stop it. He's not going to abuse that. You know, he's going to try to mimic what he sees on Sundays. I think that's a big difference between a tourney-style gamer and a sim gamer.
That is... you nailed it right on the head. Because when I go against Zfarls, I will do anything to beat him.
Yeah. You won't use known glitches, and you would never brag on Twitter that you beat me if all you did was find a cheat that made made my whole defense blitz. You wouldn't go to a tournament with that and expect to win and take home the prize. But yeah, you'll run this plays, and I'll be willing to defend them. But one side note I want to make on the stuff like slant outs is a counter. So, we come down here, we might find a play that we like, but if it's not realistic, we're going to help at these community events get those plays out of the game before people ever see them, because as much as we might think, oh, this is going to be fun to run on offense, I'm going to have something that I can beat people with, you got to defend it. So you might find it, and you might say, yeah, I could use this in my scheme, but it's not that realistic, and it looks like it could be kind of fishy. I'll ask somebody if they think that this is over effective or not realistic, and then they say, yeah, okay, we'll take a look at that, and if it gets removed, now you just saved yourself a lot of headaches. You might have had something cute for a couple weeks, but once everybody catches on, then you got to spend your energy defending it. Like Gibbs talked about, 95% of your setups have to take into account that thing. So we do want the most realistic game possible as a tourney gamer, but we're going to have what Rgiles always said, that passion to play like head-to-head with whatever game comes out. We're going to play it and want to win at all costs, no matter what. But the more realistic the game is, the better it is for us and the better it is for Sim.
Everybody.
Yeah. So I know you guys, this is both your first time here. I know Rgiles been, I've been here before. I'll go ahead and answer this question first. I want you guys to think about it while I'm talking about it. Your number one so far, it's Friday, your favorite thing about what you've seen down here, and I'm not talking about the actual game, but what's been the best experience so far about coming to the community events? Because I know...
And don't say food, because that's mine.
Justin Duel puts on a great event. He brings people in, all great people, all like-minded people, and the thing that I enjoy the most is you see, not just the you know how much you love the game, but when you come down and you see that same passion in 10 other people from all around the country, and then again you see that passion with the developers and the guys that are making the game, and you just see it at all different levels, and that to me, that's when I know that wow, this is a good thing. We have a good thing going here. And that's my one favorite thing about the community events.
Well, you basically took the words out of my mouth, and I think that we've all seen, posts or comments about how lazy the developers are. But I mean, once you get to know these guys, it's not us here kissing ass. Can I say that?
No, yeah. Because Mike Scalebear here is here until like 2 a.m. Like every night. I've been here the past 2 weeks.
7 days a week.
He works every day of the week, and he's here until 2 a.m. just doing work. Go ahead. Sorry.
I mean, we're sitting in the.
Must take a long time to update the rosters.
Yeah. Hashtag that was a joke.
But these guys are down here and they're talking to us and they're communicating with us. I mean, there's a definite passion there, and I think it's so way off base to just assume that these guys don't care and they're not doing anything. They're just sitting on their hands because they have an exclusive license. I mean, it's just really just far from the truth. And I think that when people get their hands on Madden 13, I think that they'll start to see the passion that we're seeing right now being in the studio.
Absolutely.
Well, most definitely, I mean, pretty much to co-sign with you guys. I mean, my key thing was with interacting with the devs, listening to them out the box, because it was more like a confirmation for like myself and Sim, because we always talk about like from when we see what's posted on Operation Sports or a podcast we listen to that may have Cam Weber on it or one of the devs, and we hear it in their voice, and then we see it in the video previews like, yo, these are fundamentals, like they're trying to get this game back to being fundamentally sound. Then we play the demo and it's like we have proof of life, you know what I'm saying? And then to come down here, and let alone playing the game, but talking to everybody and just saying like, they're working, like these guys have a goal, you know what I'm saying? Like, and you hear it from every single person, how they feel about this, that, and the third. Like, they want to get this game restored. Like, that's the key thing, and that was what was confirmed with me. And, like, I hear it when talking with all these guys. Like, they're all have the same mindset, same mission, all on one page. So.
Yeah, and, I mean, I feel the same way that Smitty and Rgiles feels. I mean, so I don't even really have to repeat that, but just to give an example, I mean, last night alone, after 10 o'clock, at night, I'm talking to Victor Lugo about physics. He's explaining to me about this, where he wants to take it. So it's...
Well, what time was that again?
It's after 10.
Oh, it's 10? Do most people, you guys still at home? Do you guys work until 10 a.m.? You get here at 9 and stay till 10?
I got a question for Sim. So, just so he can keep going, so for guys who say, well, why would you go to a community event? You've sold out, or why should you interact with the developers? Why should guys who want to know, like, what you should turn that down and rub it in their face? Like, what's the advantage of actually coming down here and seeing things in action versus trying to prove a point or saying that they should only bring in people that hate the game to get it corrected?
Show me your EA tattoo, man.
Yeah, yeah. Like, can you talk a little bit about that? Like, how you've actually influenced it, or just what's the point of being angry when you? Is there a point? Is there something? Are you? You play the game. You play it in a league. You don't just sit there on YouTube and hate the game and make stupid videos. Talk a little bit about that aspect of it and just reassuring everybody that it's weird.
The funny thing is, people who have really followed me since 2009, they understand that I always have said I just want the game. I don't care what company makes it. I never really ragged on EA. I basically was upset with the progression of the game. I didn't see any changes. I've said numerous times, I could pull videos showing you where I've said, I just want them to get it right. If they start showing a change of focus, change of direction, I'm on board. And it's important for me to come down to reconfirm things I've already thought. Just with communicating with Justin and, other guys, I won't disclose names, but to be able to meet these guys and speak to them personally and see that what I've always thought of them is the truth. It was very important for me to see that. And, people need to understand this as well, and you may not believe this. And again, I won't disclose names, but I spoke with devs who have actually played or still play other games. These guys they played 2K and all that, and they know, yeah, man, they did that fairly well. So, a lot of you guys in the community probably would never believe that. So it's not like they're not trying to do what we want. It's a process. Takes time, understand that what was there before was an old team, definitely an old focus. They have to clean up first, and now they have, they will progress going forward. And I'm telling you, when you see Madden 13, some will like it, some won't, but you know, it's definitely a huge step in the right direction, and it will be a solid game.
That's exciting stuff there. Guys, we're going to wrap it up here. We'll give you a chance to plug your site, your channel. Rgiles, you got a home base or something wherever you go or frequent, or if you want to give a shout out to a foundation.
Yeah, shout out to Operation Sports. I mean, I know I've been visiting lately. It's been filled with negativity, but just give it a chance, man. That's really all I can tell you. Just give it a chance, man. It's a good game. It's definitely a good game.
This is Smitty on YouTube. It's username DTS5381, and also on the Sim Standard channel, which is the Sim Standard as all one word.
Yep, absolutely. I'm a part of the Sim Standard. You know, my own channel is SimFBallCritic. It's spelled the same way it sounds, SimFBallCritic. And you know, that's basically it. You can catch me there. If you want to play in a game or what have you, gamer tag is the exact same.
Alright guys, that's show, I don't have my whiteboard, but I believe it's show 234. Guys, as always, we are changing the Madden community, and we are doing it one snap.
Unity.
That's right.
Unity! Unity, that's right! Unity! Unity! One snap at a time.
Thing I can say, right?
Yeah, go.
Yeah.
This is very important. You guys need to know this. It's just like he alluded to earlier. They want a great game as well, and these guys are necessary, regardless of how you feel about the way they play. You know, we talk ever since we've been here. These guys are definitely necessary, and they want a great game as well. But understand, every game has exploits. Every single game.
It's a game.
You know, I remember playing Nintendo with Mario, and I could just bounce on the turtle.
How about the fact that Tecmo Super Bowl is one of the greatest games of all time football? Nobody would deny it with all the things it did.
Such a good game.
But if you took control of the defensive tackle and dove, you could sack the quarterback every time.
Right.
Nobody would do that because that would make it not fun to play in battle, but it just shows that every game's going to have its faults.
Didn't have the bells and whistles that the games have now, but why was it fun? It was just a fun game.
Competitive.
You had
good balance.
Yeah, great balance. There was nothing you could do that was too dominant. I mean, great game. But I mean, we'll change the ending again, guys. Show 234. I'll do it again as always. Alongside me, Rgiles, Sim football guy, Smitty. Guys, we are changing the community. Zfarls behind the controller, and we are changing Madden community one snap at a time. I butchered that so bad.